ahead.
Okay, when answering poetry and you have been told maybe to find the title of the poem, can you use the theme obtained from the poem?
Repeat your question.
In poetry, maybe you have been told to answer the title of the, maybe you have been told to determine the title of the poem. So can you use the theme obtained from the poem to answer the title?
Okay. Yeah, one answer. Go ahead.
What is the main theme in the novel that Blossoms of the Savannah?
Okay, go ahead.
The main theme of Blossoms of the Savannah.
Fine. Switch off your mic. Put off your mic.
So that I don't forget.
Okay.
Okay, let me begin with the first question. It's about placing the excerpt in its immediate context, and you know the answer for what happens after, but you're not sure about the answers for what happens before. Write those answers that you're not sure about for before, and write the answers that you are sure about in after. You will be marked for, and maybe what you thought was not the correct answer will find itself being the correct answer. Remember, in this paper, we really advise our students to write what they think. Do not leave any blank spaces. So answer all the questions. You may be lucky. Maybe you thought that you're giving the wrong answer and you find that it is the correct answer. Then about the theme, substituting the title, if you're told to give the poem a title, yes, if it is the central theme that runs throughout the poem, you can give it as your title. The main theme in Blossoms of the Savannah, I don't want to say this because there are so many main themes in this novel. I can't just say that the main theme is FGM or, female empowerment or, gender inequality. There are so many themes and you really need to know all of them. Thank you.
Okay, Kasinga. Kasinga.
What is an internal rhyme in a poem? What is an internal rhyme in a poem?
What is an internal rhyme in a poem?
Okay, fine. Okay, let me answer this. This is the rhyming that is inside the lines. But in English, we do not have this in most cases. We really concentrate on the end rhymes, the rhymes that are found towards the end of lines. But there are poems that will have this, but we don't really specialize in this. We specialize in the end rhymes. Thank you.
Okay, so we get questions from the host. Who's ready to ask questions? Just come in.
My question is, hello.
Ask.
You have a question. How should you number your answers?
Okay, I'm Brian from Machako School. The host, and I had a question for our teacher. So, can you use the same adjective to describe tone, atmosphere, and mood?
Okay. Another person.
I'm Elvis from Machakos Boys, and my question is on the excerpt. And the question is, when you're asked about the climax of an excerpt or the turning points. The climax of an excerpt and the turning points of that excerpt. How do you answer the question?
Okay, Harrison Mutala, Machako School. Facilitator, you spoke about writing sound patterns as a style. When you are writing, do you say that there is use of sound patterns and give examples, or do you go there directly and say that there is alliteration, a consonance, and so on?
Brian from Machako School. And my question is about the registers that the teacher is talking about. What exactly do we mean about the registers? Then for the attitude, we have been told that there are two ways of describing the attitude. And yet in some words, the second method that you can use a descriptive noun does not work. For example, if you are told an attitude that is contemptuous, the second method does not work in that case. Thank you.
My name is Joseph Wambua from Machako School, and my question is, we have been told that use of archaic words is one of the features of style in poetry. Now, how will you know that this word is archaic, yet the meaning is not in the dictionary?
Okay, I want to respond to the questions that have been asked, and I want to begin with the first question, which was about, I answered that one about internal rhyme. Somebody asked about, the archaic word. Of course, even when I projected that poem about the man he killed, there were those words that you saw and you had never seen them before. There are words that you've never interacted with. So like the word nipperkin, you know, you even ask yourself, is this a napkin or what? Because it is not a word that you find in daily, can I hear? Or in daily usage. So that is how you know that this is a word that is archaic, that used to be used previously and now it's no longer there. And this is likely to be found in those poems that were written long time ago. You know, 19th century poems, 20th century, the beginning of the 20th century, such poems will have such words. Like poems by Shakespeare, you know, those English poets, you're likely to find this. So this will really help you by first knowing who has written this poem. It is very difficult to find an African poet using archaic words. So that will really help you. Then somebody asked whether you number answers. When I look at the examination paper, there is space that is provided. If you ask to give 4 points, definitely you have to show that this is the first point, this is the second point, and this can only be achieved through numbering. Then there's a gentleman that asked whether you can use the same adjective for tone, mood, and attitude. And my feel or my take is that yes, if this is possible in that particular poem, then you can use the 3 of them. Then in the excerpt, I was asked about the climax and the turning points, how you are able to identify this. You know, which point in that excerpt are you feeling that there is acceleration in the way things are happening? You know, that is the climax. So are you able to identify that area? You need to look at the events that are taking place and see how they are moving for you to be able to answer a question on this. Then sound patterns as a style, you don't need to say, I am now using a sound pattern. Go directly and write alliteration, assonance, consonance, if it is there, okay? And you illustrate, and then you give the effect if that is required of you. take note that if you're asked to explain a stylistic device, you are being asked for the effect. Always remember that, even if the marks are not telling you that. Because I've seen cases where we go for marking and we increase marks for certain questions if we realize that the weight is too much. Maybe this question you can be told to give the stylistic devices and it is 4 marks. So you say, because it is 4 marks, I'm just going to give the identification, the illustration, and I will not give the effect. The moment you see the word explain, then it means you need to do the 3. We call it the Holy Trinity. God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That is what I tell my girls, that it is God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. God the Father is the identification, God the Son is the illustration, and the Holy Spirit is the effect. Okay? Always remember that. Then attitude. Attitude is yes, somebody was asking whether you can use, there are times when you can't use the descriptive noun. So in cases where the descriptive noun does not apply, use the adjective. And in fact, the adjective is the one that applies in most cases. This only comes in areas where you have searched for the adjective and it is not there. Now you use the descriptive noun. We just want to get marks, right? So try to look for ways of getting those marks. Then registers. We have different registers in English. We have formal register, we have informal register, we have the casual register. We have the casual register. You look at this poem, and the poem here is a very casual register. A very casual register. A formal register is the register that you use when you go to the principal's office. You don't just go there and, hi, how are you? What's up, sir? You know, you can't say that because this is the principal. You'll go and say, excuse me, sir, may I speak to you? You know, that is formal register, right? Then there's that casual register that you use with your friend. Even when you're writing to your friend, you just say, hi, what's up? How is life? You know, because this is your friend. But if you're writing to someone that, you know, you give lots of respect to, someone that you're not very close to, then we need to see that formality. Those are the registers that we are talking about. Have you understood? Thank you.
Okay, so we got to one question. I think we give a chance for one question each, and this would be the last one, so that we break. So Changuli, one question. Who has not asked? Yeah, Changuli, one question. Mwindimbingu, one question.
Okay, ask. Okay.
Okay, I have a question about, on poetry. Can you use rising and falling intonation to identify mood, tone, or attitude?
Okay, lower your hands. Ndibingu.
When do people talk? Hello. Okay.
I'm Lewis Mbuvi from Ndimbingu. And I would like to ask a question based on some of this. I would like directions of answering this question from elsewhere in this novel. How does Olarinkoi contribute to the development of the novel? Thank you.
Go back again. Ask your question again.
Based on the blossoms of Savannah, I would like directions of answering the following question. From elsewhere in this novel, how does Olarinkoi contribute to the plot development of the novel? Thank you.
Okay, I think so. We take those two and then we close the session because of time.
Yeah.
I think you guys, everybody else, lower your hands. Because you have gotten a chance to ask previously. We will be here the whole day.
Yes.
We don't manage time properly.
It seems this should be done for 2 days. So that we answer all the questions. Oh, anyway. So one, there's someone that asked whether we can use the rising and falling intonation to discuss mood in paper 2. In paper 2, there's nothing about intonation. We don't talk about it. That is for paper 1. So don't give any answer that has intonation in paper 2. Then the second question from Windimbingu about Olarinkoi's contribution to plot development. This is very easy. Suppose Olarinkoi did not come and stop Resian from committing suicide, the story would end there. But the fact that he comes, he's able to rescue her, take her to his home, it leads to her growth, her development as a character, and it enables her to achieve her goal, which is going to Egerton University and becoming a great woman. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we have come to the end of our session this morning. I would like to ask one of you. Put of thanks to represent. On behalf of all the students, yes, come here quickly. Come here quickly.
Excuse me.
Good afternoon. My name is Bradley Sakaja from Machakos School, the host. I'd like to offer a word of thanks first to God for enabling us to have this session, and of course to our school administration for organizing this, the sub-county director, of course, and every other person who has been involved in this. I'd also like to thank our facilitator, Ms. Kilonzo, because there are many things that we did not know that have been very vital in ensuring that we get the grades that we intend to get if and when we do the examination in March. So thank you all. Thank you to all the schools that have participated, and God bless you. Have a wonderful day.